see this trail right through this clear cut that we're on. He pretty much got it beat down. You see those tracks back there on the gas well pad? Sometime during the night he'll slip out there and go up them gas well pads, check things out, sniff around, smell our stinkiness, and then head back up here and bed down. Now, this is where we jumped all those does the other day when we come up through here. Setting up on this knob. You got a little high knob behind you. Look back up there behind us, closer to the pine ridge. There's all kind of doe beds up there. That's where the does like to bed. But the buck, he beds down here lower. He's got this little ridge he can drop off. It's real steep right there in front. He's got this little patch of brush, blow down stuff that completely surrounds this little spot. And right there is his bed. You see it? He just climbs right into this stuff. He got this little hidey hole right here. You see kind of an old deer track right in it, but they deer hair in it. You see how it's cleaned out right here? He just lay right here and he's just tucked away from everything. He's got this little, just get right in his bed here. All he got to do, he got all this brush surrounding him completely. He got a little escape route right there where he run out. Behind me, got this blow down tree here that he can cut out right where I just came in. When he cuts out, he can hook a left or he can go up top. All kind of little escape routes right here. But what he can do, he can just stand up. When he stands up, he looking at the truck where we sign in. He can see that road bed where we drive down the hill. Pretty good little spot, ain't it? Right now, this is the escape route and the direction that big buck we just looked at earlier, the bed, would head to. There's multiple places up here he could cross the road, but typically he's going to end up in this corner. Right there, of course, is the road. This is how close to the road these bucks will bed. It's ridiculous sometimes how close to the road they'll bed. But just gonna show you where they'll bed. They'll bed right here on this little flat. In these little spots here, you'll see little matted down areas in that honeysuckle right there. Trails, they'll bed up in that little patch of thick stuff right here. Here's the main scrape that all these bucks typically work, and I've seen them lay down just around this scrape. But the main bed of the big boy is just a little bit further over there. I don't want to walk over there, but where it gets real thick in there, on the edge of this hillside, it drops off steep again on the edge of this hill. And right over in there is his bed. I got it marked by a tree. I don't see the tree right now, but he'll lay down right in front of that tree. It's a big bed, and he could stand up and look back toward the road from here, and he could see if anybody's driving down the road or walking down the road. If he decides he wants to run, he's going to run straight toward that swamp, right down in that drainage, or he's going to hook around the side here. And this side right here in the bottom of this, in the head of this holler, is so thick. I mean, it's like 10 foot high briars and brambles, stuff that just ridiculously thick. If he goes through that right there, son, he'll come up there and he'll cross right there at the gate, and he'll go back over to the other side of that clear cut and bed down again. You can't run him out of here. He's got so many little beds and hidey holes and escape routes. He just hop from one to the other. He don't run far. Right now, we're probably 300 yards from where his first bed is. So that's not far for a deer to go at all to escape. Does it quite right. They can lay down in all this mess, these little briars, just about anywhere. You got a flat spot there, and over there. And it, close to the edge of that steep ridge, got a point go. Once you go that way too far, it starts opening up. The woods do, so they don't go that way when they escape. They go off the edge of this into that thick honeysuckle choked bottom to get out of here. So these deer, if you look at this swamp and the way it's laid out,
not as much as I thought. There's a land bridge right over there.
Well, there's a land bridge at the upper end right there, and a lot of deer cross on that area right there. Above that is water, but it's real shallow. They can walk across that water if they want to. It's not a problem. And that's a lot of buck sign, buck activity. If you look on that edge over there, it is just super thick.
Oh yeah.
You got this little bit of a beaver dam.
Yeah, you got 2 beaver dams.
You got 50 yards, another beaver dam. Got another 60, 70 yards, another beaver dam. There's 3 or 4 little land masses here. And these high spots, which is mostly to the north, those bucks bed on them high spots out in this swamp. This little places where you got trees, like that spot right there.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like much, but that'd be an ideal spot for a buck to lay right up under that old cedar. He could hide. You ain't gonna get to him without him knowing it. You can't come off this high ridge without him seeing you. You can't come in from the other side because it's too dang thick to walk through without just making a bunch of noise. You'd have to cut a trail through there. This is where where old Big Boy lives, right here. Nobody bothers him here.
Some more bones.
Yeah.
This is this year.
You don't see any
Looking.
antlers laying around, do you?
Problem is when this flooded, the water was up this high. Could have washed them down. A deer was killed and died right here.
Yeah, I see bones all up and down this trail, even down through there.
Like a little tunnel right through it.
Well, them deer can crawl through that mess. They can walk right across that, no problem at all.
Alright, sweet.
See it's beat down through there?
You can see it. Walk over there.
Well, that's all they need, a little hole cut through there. A deer could walk through there and just about be completely hid, couldn't they? Cut across this swamp. You can definitely see how they like to walk that bottom edge of this swamp.
Yeah.
They got just a tore up trail down through here. This little spot we're standing in is the most open spot on the whole place. If you go that way, it gets dang thick. Go the other way, it gets dang thick. So you could drop off and maybe cover this little opening for a good bow shot. Be sweet.
Oh yeah.
That'll tell you a little something about this area. That tree right there, boy, I mean, it's set up in a prime location. You got deer bedding on the hillside above you. You got deer bedding in the swamp. You got all these trees that, or all these trails that pinch down to this spot. If you couldn't kill a deer right there early season, probably a good buck too. Something wrong. You like this spot?
Yeah, that oak has not leafed out yet. It's just now starting to bud.
That oak was covered up in acorns. You got a white oak right here beside it too. That's younger, and then right over there you got a red oak. And another small red oak, a white oak there, smaller. So there'll be acorns right here on this little area. It's like a little clump of acorn trees. You see how these little ditches go in and out of here?
Yeah.
These deer go down and feed in these little ditches. Man, they'll feel so comfortable right here. You got a swamp on one side, thick pine thicket on the other side. Gonna be a little hard to get in here.
Just cut from that corner right here to it. Yeah.
I put that canoe down here and it cut me a little trail to my canoe path. I could paddle right up here to it.
You could paddle up to that low beaver dam.
Right, and I could walk right up here to this spot. Be cool.
This trail right here that goes to that beaver dam is deep down. There are a lot of wildlife using this trail. And of course, it peters out in all directions.
Once
it gets on top of the pier.
Yeah, but once you go, say behind you, that direction, that's where all the deer travel. Majority of them. I mean, a lot of them travel. So you want to stay out of that area as much as possible. Just kind of hit this outside edges, work your way in. You don't want to get up there on that bed area and run all the deer off the bed area. You don't want to get up there on that field and run out all the deer out of the field. You can walk the water edge. In other words, you could come right off the bank where we came off the bank, and you might could just literally walk out in the water edge. You got to cross one deer trail coming in from that way. That's the one we just videoed. You could walk in the water up through here and cut. You're only looking at about that might be the best access in here, because you wouldn't be coming up to this land bridge corner here where all the deer travel. You'd be staying down through there, and if a deer did go down through there, they wouldn't smell you because of the water.
Yeah, they do parallel that swamp.
But you have to walk in the water edge, literally. I mean, I'd wade the water. It's not that deep. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, it's the best spot.